word that Gabriel gave the Theotokos, that the Lord is with you. And it seems so incredibly undoubtable that the Lord is with you all in your community. St. Matthew's, I know some of you are visiting who have been drawn here for all the right reasons. And the saying of the angel was surprising to Mary. And it may seem surprising to you that I might say the Lord is with you. But what you have by being able to transport your entire community to a Catholic beautiful sanctuary and not be lacking in anything, to have the icons as your iconostasis, just with 4 icons, to have the beautiful lilies that were put there by Father's daughter, and just 2 of them are enough, 1 on each side. The way in which Father prays for so many people and many of you during the service, and he makes his prayers audible, so that there's not just silent prayers, but they're open. And also you are blessed, and you may not know this to the degree to which I'm about to say. You're so blessed that he is a person who makes the words of the liturgy come alive as words. He twists and accents words in certain ways that, like the word remission of sins, and how he does that, which you all are familiar. That is very, very unusual. So he really makes the word come alive for you. So you all lack nothing. My heart tells me you all lack nothing. In many ways, my words today are like an apostrophe to what Father's already given you this morning in the brief homily about the Theotokos. So, just a quick word about me. As Father said, I do have 2 daughters, and my wife, Kimberly, who's also a professor at Harvard Divinity School. I teach at the seminary in the Boston area, in Brookline, for the Greek Orthodox Archdiocese. And I've been there about 12 years. I teach New Testament. My main goal as New Testament professor is to get my students to slow down so that they can read words, and so that they might have something like you're accustomed to hearing from Father Dimitri, so that they might have something to say that has real content, real food to it. And the only way they can do that is if they learn to read words and be able to read them prayerfully. I am not originally Orthodox. That may not surprise you with the name Beck. Although you all are multicultural, and I really love that as well. I came into the church through my daughter, who at the time was about 6 weeks old. I made a commitment to my wife to take our daughter, who had just been born, to take her to church. And so I had been a Baptist before, and so I started taking her in these what we call slings, where it looks like you basically have something strapped to you. And I would walk in the back of our church, which had an open narthex, so you could be in the narthex but see everything and hear everything. And it was very safe space for me just to kind of walk the baby, because it looked like I had a purpose. But to see the 2 things that really caught my attention. The first was a little bit like the Vespers reading last night, when Moses stepped aside because he saw the burning bush, but what was bothering him was not that it was burning, but that it wasn't being consumed, like it just was staying there. I was seeing the icon of the Platitera behind the altar, and I was feeling drawn by her to the church, or to herself. And as a as a Baptist, that was not supposed to be happening. Like Moses seeing the bush not burning up, the icon thing was not supposed to be happening. So that was the first sign that I knew something was going on. And the second was when the Gospels were being read, I began to cry and to respond emotionally. And that was not supposed to be happening, because I was already in the latter stages of my doctoral work in New Testament. And once it's like being a great cook, you almost lose the ability to enjoy food. It's just kind of one of the casualties with the profession. So if you become really, really good in something, it's hard to actually be reached by it. And all of a sudden, God was reaching me through the reading of the gospel. So I had to stop, and like Moses, I had to stop and turn aside and see what was going on. And the door was very wide open by our priest, and it was wonderful to join now my entire family into the Orthodox Church. It is a special, last word of introduction I'll say, it is a very special opportunity for me to talk with you and to discuss with you about the Theotokos, is that this was the one thing when I first entered the church as previously being Protestant that I had the biggest gap in my understanding about. I recognized the devotion, the veneration, the love that my fellow Orthodox had for Mary. And I didn't have that. It was like a big hole. And I asked our priest, I said, I don't think I'm ready to come in because this part hasn't been done yet. And he wisely said to me, he says, you will never get it unless you come in. You have to come in first. Then you will actually develop that love. And but that's something you'll need to work on. And he was absolutely right. So you all, the Lord is with you, with your community, and the way in which you show the holy kiss with each other is just, you don't probably realize this. This doesn't happen in every parish. It just doesn't. So you have a great blessing. So I wanted to be with you this morning in a very similar way that I teach. I'm not a really formal kind of lecturer, I don't see that as what we want to do here. So I invite questions. We'll have periods where I'll stop and we'll have discussion. But if there's something that you want to ask right now when it's fresh, and if you think everyone would be interested in it, then please just raise your hand and we'll stop and do that. And Father, we're including questions, we're going until 12:30, is that right?
12:15.
12:15? Okay. So this is, we have basically 2 sessions or 2 loaves of bread, and we'll go until this session's over, and then we'll take the rest the next time.